During one of my shadow working sessions, I was asked a very interesting question that really stuck with me. They asked me, Ryan, can you change people who don't want to change? And I thought about that because it's one of those questions that hits right at the core of what shadow work is really about. And the truth is, yes, people can change even when they swear they don't want to. It doesn't happen because someone lectures them. It happens because something deep inside of them shifts. Change only happens when staying the same becomes more painful than the transformation itself. And we call that leverage. Now, leverage isn't manipulation. It's the moment your soul says, I can't live like this anymore. For some people, that leverage is losing everything. For others, it's seeing their child hurt because of the same unconscious patterns that they've been sticking to. For some, it's a spiritual awakening or a breakdown that strips away every illusion of control that they have. We all have a leverage point. The question is, have you reached yours yet? When you find that point, when the pressure builds and your excuses fall away from you, that's when your shadow stops being an idea and starts being very real for you. You start to see the part of you that's been sabotaging your own life. And if you stay conscious in that moment, you can use it. You can repattern it. Because the truth is, your brain, your body, they operate on associations. They link pain to pleasure. They link safety to danger. And most of the time, these associations are completely ass backwards. You link pain to being vulnerable and pleasure to being in control. Or you might link pain to failure and pleasure to avoidance. Or you might link pain to truth and pleasure to pretending. Here's the paradox of it though. The very thing that you usually link pain to is usually the thing that would set you free. So let me tell you a story about this. One night years ago, I couldn't sleep. It was 2 a.m. and I was flipping through TV channels and landed on this old black and white version of A Christmas Carol. It's the story of Scrooge. And I'm watching this bitter, lonely man, and something profound sort of hits me. Scrooge didn't start out that way. He became that. He experienced pain, an emotional loss, betrayal. And in that pain, his mind formed a belief that people equal pain. So what does he do? He isolates. He becomes very cold. He becomes very powerful. And he starts linking pleasure to money, to control and superiority. He links pain to love, to connection, to vulnerability. Even though he's miserable, he thinks he's winning and he thinks he's safe. And that's how the shadow operates. It builds a cage around your pain and calls it protection. So how does he change? How does Scrooge change? Does someone convince him? No, what happened was he was forced to confront the truth. You get the three ghosts that show up, you got the past, the present, and the future, and they take him on a journey through his own unconscious. They show him the pain he's caused, the emptiness of his present, and the horror of where it's all leading to. They show him the pain that he's been causing to people. They show him the emptiness of his present, where he's at in his life. And they show him the horror of where it's all going to. In other words, they gave him leverage. They broke every escape route for him. He couldn't hide in nostalgia because his past is painful. He couldn't idealize the future. It was worse than the present. And his present was unbearable for him. There's nowhere left to run but through himself. That's why he transformed. That's why he changed. This is what you could call the Dickens pattern. It's when your psyche finally links the pain to the very behavior that's hurting you, that's destroying you, and pleasure to the freedom on the other side of it. And that's when everything clicks. That's when change happens in a heartbeat. The shadow teaches through contrast. It'll let you suffer just long enough until the truth becomes undeniable. So if you are stuck, if you keep repeating the same patterns over and over, Ask yourself, why am I still linking pleasure to my own destruction? Why am I still linking pain to my own healing? Once you flip that association, once you feel in your gut that your truth equals freedom, that your avoidance equals death, change doesn't require willpower anymore. It becomes instinct. And that's what shadow work is. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about rewriting what your nervous system believes is safe and teaching it that love, truth, and vulnerability are not threats, they're home. When you reach that point, when the walls close in from every direction, you don't break down, you break through. That's leverage, that's freedom, that's shadow work. Thanks for watching. I hope this resonated with you, and I'll see you again for another video soon.